Hello, it's LitRPG. Welcome to the one-take narration of The Rabbit Thief of Midgard in Isekai Heist LitRPG. It's Chapter 1, The Shower Salmon, by author EmilGoldshore. They're stealing criminals, straight out of Scandinavia. The government thinks no one will notice, but I've gone through the records. People are vanishing without a trace from prison. I scrolled up. My algorithm had gone screwed up after spending an evening watching too many conspiracy videos. After a drawing video, one about urban exploration, and a lockpicking tutorial, came another conspiracy. Some people think it's the government. It's not. It's interdimensional goods stealing people away. Watch this. Then it cut to a man in a bomber jacket trying to swat a flyaway before disappearing into thin air. Does anyone buy this crap? I thought when a call from my mom interrupted the video. Hi, Mom. Hey, Robin. I just wanted to ask, what train are you taking tomorrow? I'll be there at 6. Great. You still want burgers for your birthday? Extra cheese? Extra cheese sounds nice, I said. I'm starving. I hope you're eating enough, honey. Do you want another Venmo so you can buy some dinner for tonight? She asked. Despite money being tight, my mum always bailed me out. It's fine. I've got some leftover pasta in the fridge. That was a lie, but I didn't want to worry her. Besides, it'll keep up my appetite for tomorrow. I'll get extra cheese then, she said, and chuckled at her joke. The reason I called was to ask if you wanted me to invite some of your old friends. Emma told me you've been lonely since you moved. Guess that's what I get for confiding in that blabbermouth of a sister, I thought. No, it's fine, Mom. You know I don't need to see them. Okay, Robin. Last question. Not I think you will, but if your father makes an appearance, then I'm locking the door, I said. I doubt he'll show either way. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Yeah, see you tomorrow. The conversation about burgers had made me even hungrier than before, but I needed to finish up my urban exploration project for art school. I gave it a shot, but I was too tired to draw. Something that always cleared my mind was a shower. I headed into the bathroom and slid out of my clothes. I stared at the ugly rabbit tattoo on my forearm. The design was supposed to be a cute tattoo of Biggie, me, and Emma's pet rabbit. But despite his best intentions, my aspiring tattoo artist friend produced what looked like a Playboy bunny that had its features rearranged by a shovel. It was only the second worst decision of my life that had left a permanent mark. You could laser away a tattoo, but not a criminal record. I cranked the shower to the hottest, and as the warm water hit my face, I tried to rinse away the bad thoughts of my past, the gold heights, juvie, moving towns. I had quite a bit of shampoo running down my face when a strange noise knocked me out of my thoughts. A deep gurgle from the toilet, followed by a wet thud. With panicked motions, I scrubbed the stinging shampoo from my eyes. On my carpet sat a pink salmon. Its scales shimmered, and its eyes were not black but an intense emerald green. It wasn't gasping for breath. It was just staring at me. I turned off the shower and it exploded in emotion. With a wet slap against the tile, it launched itself off the floor and straight at my chest. The impact felt like a punch, and snapped with the shower curtain as I was clutching for support. I fell backward, and the last thing I saw was that flickering ceiling light. The first sensation was of being submerged, sinking and unable to breathe, then of being expelled into a freefall. The wind slapped me as I fell naked towards the green outline of a forest. Just before I hit the ground, an invisible force broke my fall, but I wasn't out the woods yet. As I landed straight in a bramble bush, thorns dug deep into my skin as I crawled out of the ensnaring prickly vines. After I freed myself, I realized I was crawling through tall grass. What was this? 1 second in the shower, the next tangled in a thorny nightmare. I sat up and touched the back of my head, which pulsed with pain. but as I brought my fingers to my face, there was no blood. With some relief at not having a head wound, I glanced around and saw 10 other people surrounding me. A mix of mostly men and some women, who all mirrored my confusion, scratching their heads with bewildered expressions. They looked like the type from my old neighborhood, the type who'd hang out near schools trying to impress 12-year-olds by flaunting their Gucci bags. Some of them wore North Face puffer jackets, despite it being June. Others, ski masks. All wore expensive trainers. I realized I was the only one naked and covered myself with my hands. "What the fuck is going on? Did someone get the drop on me?" One man clad in the black Medusa head jacket said, whipping his head side to side as if shooters were hiding behind the trees. A second man with a crossbody bag glanced at him. "Wait, I know you. You're Ops, fucking M6. You're dead." The two men rushed at each other and tumbled to the ground. I scrambled to my feet as a chanting crowd gathered around the pile of fighting. I sensed something behind me and ducked just in time as a bird sweat over my head. With a poof, a tall, slender man unfurled from the bird in a torrent of feathers. He straightened up, revealing a shimmering black velvet suit that complemented his shoulder-length platinum blonde hair. The cut of the suit wasn't modern. It looked almost medieval, with embroidered golden runes running along the sleeves. His sharp green eyes glared at us, while he clacked his cane to get our attention. "Welcome, my dear guests." The fighting ceased momentarily, as everyone turned to look at the strange man. "My name is Loki, and I've brought you all here for an exciting opportunity." No, this was a dream. I've fallen asleep with the "Are you still watching?" message splayed across my TV. The salmon falling through the sky, being surrounded by people who looked like they came from my neighborhood, and finally Loki, the trickster god. But the thing that gnawed at me was that when you had a fallen dream, you always shot as soon as you fell. This time, I kept falling. The fighting stopped, and both men stood up, their eyes intently focused on Loki, whilst dusting themselves off from the grass and dirt that clung to their clothes. "Who the fuck's this wimp?" Crossbody asked. "This wimp is the one who transported you people here, and I have done so for good reason. You see, I require your assistance. Naturally, since you are all thieves and criminals, the logic should follow that I require something stolen," Loki said. "No, this isn't right. I'm not a thief. I put that life behind me." "Now trust me, you are not my first, second, or 47th choice. But as they say, beggars can't be choosers. And speaking of choice, that is a luxury reserved for your betters." Loki turned his gaze skyward as if waiting for something. I stared up into the night sky, as well trying to see what he was looking for. An airplane? No, a chariot riding across the night sky, pursued by 2 giant wolves. It seemed attached to the moon, dragging it along. But that wasn't what Loki was staring at. He was staring at the rainbow in the distance, which glowed with brilliant colours even in the dead of night. Then Crossbody Bag fell to the ground, clutching his arm and bellowing out a guttural scream. The jacket man he'd been fighting followed, and then the rest. Soon everyone was screaming and clutching their arms, except for me. "It's ripping into me!" Gucci Bag shouted. I stared in horror as a mixture of blood and ink flowed down the man's arm. 4 carved letters appeared: T, H, I, E, and F. Loki tapped his cane with an impatient rhythm. Come now, Earthlings. It can't hurt that bad, can it? It's just a little class assignment." The screaming rose into blood-curdling shrieks as more and more got their markings. I closed my eyes and braced for the same agony to hit me. I looked down at my arm, but nothing appeared. All I could feel was my rapid heartbeat and the biting night air on my goosebump skin. Loki let out an exaggerated sigh. "Are you drama queens done yet, so I can continue?" The screaming died down, replaced with soft whimpering and glares that said, "I'm gonna kill this guy." He swept his fingers through the air with the flair of a Las Vegas magician. As a piece of parchment materialized in his hand, he unfurled it with a snap and started reading. "Now, little earthlings, my blood brother Odin's system has assigned you all something." His voice dripped with condescending cheer.